go. Ta-da! Hello, everybody. This is Danny and Wanda
I gotta move.
Deep South Homestead.
Looks like mine is not in the screen. We forgot to set up. No, I forgot.
You forgot. I got in here and OBS wasn't even hooked up to the computer.
He asked me in there, is everything ready? I said, oh yeah, it's ready.
So yeah, don't worry about it. It's ready. We just run there, turn it on. I come in here, I was like,
we had no
OBS.
no camera.
No camera hooked up.
There was no us.
Yep.
Okay, so we're
right.
good.
Let's see here.
What are we talking about? Everybody's talking about the dust storm that's headed this way.
It's just a little bit of Sahara dust. That's all. Nothing that's going to mess up with anything.
We hope.
I guess people who might have allergies, it might bother them. But people who got solar panels, probably going to have to wipe them off. But other than that, just going to have a little haze in the sky. Your sunsets and your sunrises are going to be beautiful.
So take lots of pictures. It's going to make it different. Oh,
yep.
4 kids and a farm. Hey, I forgot. I didn't get my picture up, but my Autumn Beauty sunflowers or showdown are 7 feet tall, and they've got little sunflowers coming out.
Put them on here?
I forgot. We got busy a while ago with the stink bugs.
We went out and personally shot this video, and that, I mean, just took a picture just for tonight, and she didn't put it
up. I'm sorry. But 7 foot tall. I can't believe it. I thought Autumn Beauties were going to be like 4 to 5 feet tall. So nope. They're already
They're taller than the size.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
But they're beautiful. They hadn't bloomed out yet. I'm waiting on blooms. I see some people's got blooms already.
Yeah.
But y'all check out the Sunflower Showdown 2020 with 4 kids in a farm, Adler, Naked Hog, Coghill Farms, and Hoss Tools. Yeah. I got it right. Yes.
All right.
Remind me, but I think that's it.
Okay, guys. What I want to know right off the bat, what did you think about my new pond that I put in?
Who even knew that was our pond?
I mean,
the thumbnail.
Tell me the thumbnail. Tell me what you guys thought about the new pond. We're lagging just a little bit, but I mean, it's full of water out there. I mean, you know, what do you think? The lily pads is already in it. The pier's out there.
How did y'all like that?
How did y'all like that picture? That was beautiful. Now, I'm telling you, it turned out better than we imagined.
How did you like it? Hello, and no water?
No water?
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
What'd y'all think of the thumbnail? I know we're lagging, but we're waiting to see if anybody...
Thank y'all for the Happy Father's Day.
One person I know said something before the live stream. I don't see anybody commenting.
Nobody's commenting.
Go out and come back in so you can look at the thumbnail.
I told you we're lagging probably about 30 or 40 seconds. It looks great. Very nice. Okay. Awesome. It is pretty. Okay. I thought it looked
legit.
Legit. I love it. Okay.
Where's the boat? Okay, so James, you forgot something. There should have been a boat tied up to the pier.
Should have been a boat by the pier.
James sent me that picture this week, a couple of days ago, and I asked him could I use it. It looks like it's been there for years.
Well, technically, it probably has.
And somebody said thought it would be bigger. Actually, it's going to be a lot bigger.
It'll be a lot bigger.
But James photoshopped that, and if you notice, it's Danny's tractor, and Danny is squatted down in the background, and it just looks awesome. If we already had water, but guys, we don't have any water. Not yet. Just wish we did.
No, we're not going to put it.
We're not putting lily pads.
We're not putting lily pads in the pond. Believe me, we're not.
Everybody's saying they love the lily pads.
It's a miracle pond. We call it our miracle pond. It was done overnight. It's one of them things that we just said, Lord, we need a pond. And he said, okay, here you go.
And James made it happen.
James made it happen.
Lippy's calling it an island where things just magically appear.
Yep.
On Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
Yes, it was photoshopped.
Yes.
Okay, so we need a fishing pole. Okay, let me show you something.
Oh, do you have a picture?
I took Danny to Walmart for the first time in months.
I was the first time in Walmart in 4 months.
And look what he had to do.
Look at that. I bought Miss Wanda a tackle box.
I told him, I said, do I really need a tackle box? Well, first off, y'all like the green? Pretty, isn't it? Let's see. First off, I had the pictures backwards. First off, the night before, he's telling me what kind of fishing rod
fishing reel she needs.
Whatever. Okay, I know basically nothing about that except pitch it out and try to catch something. So all that went over my head, and we've been there, and he's studying the reels, and he picks out, what color was it? Was it red?
No, it's just a black one.
It's a black one, okay.
Yeah.
This is what he picked out. Yeah. Okay, I come home, I've got my rod and my box, and he even put some goodies in it.
Yeah, I even loaded it up for brim fishing and stuff like that. No bass fishing stuff, just brim fishing and stuff.
Yeah, he was picking out stuff, and I asked him, I said, okay, what do I need? And he said, sinkers. So I pick up this thing that says sinkers across it. They're about this long. He just dies out laughing.
This thing is for throw lines, like you throw a line out in a river or something.
And he got that little rod, and he said, no, we need something littler. So I found some that were real tiny, like BB size. He said, no, well, we need some of those, but we need something to size up. So I found that. Then he's talking, and I'm like, whatever. I walked away, and I started looking at the tackle boxes and didn't find anything I was really that interested in because there weren't any orange ones. And well, there was. I take that back. There was one that had orange.
There was one that had orange on it.
But it was little bitty like this, and it didn't have a top on it, and it was all material, and it wouldn't do to get wet. And then he goes into hooks.
Yeah.
And then he starts explaining to me different types of hooks.
Yeah.
Y'all, I just glazed over.
Right over her head.
I glazed over. I promise you. And then he goes and picks out a tackle box. Because I don't know what I'm doing. I said, well, do I really need one? He said, yes, you need one to have. I said, don't you need one? He said, no, I already have one. So we're going to get some cane poles. We are.
Yeah, we're going. Actually, I'm going to talk to my neighbor. My neighbor at his place of business has a bunch of tall cane poles. And I'm going to see if I can't go there and cut some down.
How will we keep the cottonmouth at bay with a pond?
Boom.
That's how most of them's going to get taken care of.
It's called a pistol.
Somebody said a Zebco. What was that?
No, that wasn't a Zelco. That was a Shakespeare.
Yeah, that. Does that tackle box glow in the dark?
I hope it does. I hope it does. She won't lose it that way, maybe.
Yo, I lose everything.
Georgia Garden Girl says, Wanda, I tie flies for fly fishing. I will have to send you some for brim. Great.
Fly fishing. Okay, so explain.
I love fly fishing.
Explain what fly fishing is, just right quick.
You got a rod.
Sorry.
The rod's about 10 feet long or 8 foot, something like that.
So the one I got ain't working.
No, it ain't a fly fishing rod. And I've got the fly fishing thing out there. You got your big line, you pull it out, and you just whip it. And you let go of it, and you just kind of pull it across, and you pull some slack out, you whip it up, and you let the slack go. I used to do that when I lived in Connecticut up there fishing on the river.
Can we do that in our pond?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just can't have a bunch of trees and bushes around. You got to have open space to do it.
We're going to have some open space.
Be perfect. Be perfect.
Okay, Georgia Garden Girl. He knows how to fly fish.
Oh, I love to fly fish.
Your daughter Jennifer's in here. She said, I can't wait to come see you and see your plans for the pond.
I'm not looking for nothing. I bought Wanda what's called an ultralight reel. My dad got me hooked on ultralight tackle years ago, catching panfish, bluegills, and stuff like that. And guys, I just love a good fight with a reel. And I think if Wanda ever caught a nice little fish on an ultralight, she would have a blast. Because the biggest line that it has is a 4-pound test line. And sometimes it breaks the line, sometimes it don't.
All right, Lippy's paying me back for yesterday. She said, y'all send Wanda goodies for fishing because Bill Dance won't have nothing on her. The Bill Dance.
I agree.
Bloopers.
I agree, Lippy.
I was laughing so. And what's so funny, I'm sitting across the room with the computer watching Bill Dance. He is on the other side of the room, don't know what's on. All he hears is the first few minutes out of the man's mouth, what he's saying. He goes, "Are you watching Bill Dance?" And I said, "I don't know. I don't know who this is." I said, "Some idiot trying to fall out of a boat, something." He said, "That's Bill Dance." I reckon.
I reckon. I knew because I used to watch him 25 years ago. I mean, you know, I used to be really into fishing a lot.
Yeah. So that's kind of our crazy fishing, whatever, you know. We've got the stuff. We need the pond and we need the fish, which will take a year or better. He said according to how big of a fish he puts in there.
It depends on how big a fish I buy to put in there to start with, and how many of them I buy. Because I can start out with fish almost big enough to eat, you know. So I mean, it doesn't matter. But I do know it'll take probably 4 months to 5 months for the pond just to settle and to get going.
Tom DeSoto says I need to get a new bathing suit. Well, I haven't bought it in well over beyond 7 years. It's probably been 8, if not more, years since I've had a new bathing suit. And I'm not planning on bathing in a pond except if times get really, really hard and we need it. So that's why we were talking about water. Water is essential. But we wanted to take it in a little bit different way and talk to them because most people, when you tell them to prep, all they're prepping is food and medicine and stuff. Nobody talks about
water. And you know, here at our place, we have 3 water sources here already. And we just figure a pond, and not only does it add to the water source, I mean, if there's a LCE happens or, you know, we have no way, there's no electricity, we can go jump in the pond to cool off or to take a bath. I mean, whatever, we can do anything like that. Or we can fish, we can eat the fish, you know.
Our animals will have water. That's our biggest issue right now is last year taught us a huge lesson.
Oh, it taught us a big lesson.
With all the drought, we had really hard time with watering animals and keeping our plants watered. So Jennifer wants to come fishing and bring Trey. Good. That's one reason we're building it too. We got grandkids. Yeah. I asked Danny, and he said, well, he knew Carrie did. He didn't remember if Jennifer was very big on fishing. But I have one daughter that loves to fish. She'd sit there all day. 1 or 2 of my sons like to fish. And so we have people that would like to fish eventually.
We are going to try.
We have some grandkids. We got several grandkids that like to fish.
Try to put like a boardwalk type pier out there. We're not going to put a pier way out in the water. Like put a boardwalk pier along the edge there, you know, so that you're out over the water some, but not like way out in the water out there.
Yeah. And we're hoping that will help. We also have an Alexa pier.
Yeah.
And Danny and I talked about this. If we had to, and the water's, you know, not too bad, we don't have animals in it and stuff like that, we could boil the water, cool it off, then we could run it through the Alexa Pure and possibly have some clean. We also have other ways to clean water.
We have wells that we can just draw water from.
Yeah.
The question's being asked, how deep are we going to dig it? We're going to dig it as deep as we can go without getting out of the clay down there. I took my tractor and dug down about 4 foot. And I was in clay down 4 foot deep. So
Jennifer says she loves to fish. Shame on you for not knowing that.
Well, I mean,
you don't remember taking her fishing much?
Not much, no.
He remembers.
I fished by myself and with my friends, but
he wasn't paying the.
We're going to have, the only thing about this pond is we're going to have all the edges cut straight down to prevent the growth of lily pads or anything like that if we can help it.
We'll need a pond yacht. What about mosquitoes?
We already have an ample supply of them, so it's not going to change anything. As a matter of fact, just because you have a pond, if you got fish in a pond, you're not going to have mosquitoes because fish feed off of the larva. And plus, we're going to go ahead and put probably 2 or 3 pretty good sized carp in it, just because they're bottom feeders to kind of help clean up anything that gets started in it. If a lily pad should start, they will usually keep them out.
She said she went fishing all the time at Batson's.
I do, yeah, we did. We go up to Archie Batson's. We used to fish up there. We used to catfish a lot.
He has a selective memory.
I do. We did go catfishing up there a lot at Archie's.
They're wanting to know, will it erode any?
Well, as soon as we get through with it, I've already bought the grass seeds. We're going to take them, as soon as the guy finishes, we're going to go ahead and fertilize it, lime the banks, everything, put the grass seed down, get them cultipacked in, and go ahead and put hay over it and everything to prevent any kind of washing until the grass can get started.
And we are putting catfish. That is one of the fish that will be going.
We're going to start off with catfish and brim.
Yeah.
And once they get established, we'll go, and a couple of the big fish. What did I just call them?
Carp.
Carp. We're going to put a couple of big carp. And then once it gets established, probably a year from now, we'll go in and probably put the bass in there, a few of those.
Yeah, and we are letting it set up a while before adding fish. We're not going to be adding fish like...
No, we won't add them instantly. It'll probably be about down the road or something for you.
Yeah, so we've got a lot of plans. This won't happen overnight. Just the building of the pond will happen in a couple of weeks. Less if we can, you know, if he finishes up a project, less. But it might be the 1st of June, a little later, but we're hoping to get it. And
Time to Sow says, do you have any future projects on your wish list after the pond and the high tunnel? Well,
no.
Wanda knows me.
We're finishing projects.
I am one. I probably will focus on just finishing the after this, you know, because we got some fencing that needs to be done for cattle and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I do have one more project on the list. I'm not going to talk about it.
We actually have 2.
Actually, we do have 2.
One is the cane mill. He's always wanted a building out there for his cane mill. The cane mill will come at some point. Ever
the cane mill building.
Yeah, the building.
The building, yes.
And we do have pictures of our cane too, I think.
We got some pictures here. Let us back up here and just take a picture here a moment. Let me show you.
Isn't that beautiful?
This is our sugar cane. Today we weeded we weeded it out and throwed it out in the middles, and the Florida pusley we took to the cows. The rest of it we run through with a lawnmower and just mowed.
Yeah. Okay, so it was looking beautiful early morning. This was like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
7, somewhere in there.
Yeah, this is our sugar cane. It is probably one of the better years that we've ever had of sugar cane.
We have 4 rows like this.
We have 4 rows just like this right here.
Okay, we'll show something else. Somebody wants to know how we're going to fill the pond.
It has a natural spring in the bottom of it. It mixes a small rain here, and the water just gushes down in where that pond's at.
Yeah. And so we're not going to really worry about it filling. A couple of good rains, and it should, once it's built, it should fill up.
Charlene says, because of you, I am now growing sugar cane.
Yeah. And so, guys, this is one of the questions I asked when I put this up on Instagram this morning is, would we show how to process cane? Yes, we probably will show that process, but we have 4 years of videos on how to grow cane, how to harvest cane, and how to make syrup. We do it every year except this past year because we had a drought. We didn't make a whole lot of syrup because of that. But check out Deep South Homestead, sugarcane or cane syrup video. It's a playlist.
Sheila says, you make any cane syrup? Sheila, that's what Wanda's talking about. We have a playlist on Deep South Homestead of literally video after video after video of us making cane syrup.
Yeah. So we have our own cane mill, and you guys check that out. Just anytime you want to know something about what we do, type in Deep South Homestead cane syrup or Deep South Homestead sugarcane, Deep South Homestead Danny corn. Those videos should pop up for you.
People want to know, will we line the pond? No, we don't have to because it'll have a clay bottom. How deep is the pond going to be? As deep as I can get them to dig it financially. You know, how long I can afford to. Hope you get some moisture on the cane this year. We are hoping so that we do too.
So far, it's been really good. Can you grow sugarcane in Michigan?
Probably not. Probably not. You can probably grow in Michigan. You'll probably, because it's even too cold there, I think, for sorghum.
David Lucas says he wants a cap. How do I get one? I don't think we in any of our stores. All we have is T-shirts right now.
Did we take the caps out? We did have.
That was when we had that first company, and we don't have that company
anymore. Yeah.
I'm hoping to have some ways that people can do that before long. I have some friends that are doing monogram stickers, all kinds of stuff. Not monograms, but anyway, you can do T-shirts and caps and all. Hoping to get a little more into some of that in the future, but right now mainly T-shirts. That's about it.
No, we don't have any. Our sugarcane doesn't have any sulfites in it like molasses does, and there are no gators around us. People think
up the road.
Well, but we're talking 12 miles up the road.
The guy has a gator farm.
He has a gator farm, and they just bring them in. We don't naturally have alligators here. People think because we live in South Mississippi, there's alligators everywhere. There's not. No, that's a myth.
But there is an alligator farm 12 miles up the road.
Yeah.
We got some gifts, and I'm going to show 3 or 4 of them right quick. We had somebody send us a supply of grits from Palmetto Farms. These are all natural, gluten-free, non-GMO, stone ground. Y'all, it's hard to get stone ground grits, cornmeal.
It is hard.
Y'all, the best grits you'll ever put in your mouth have to be stone ground. Now, this was new to me. This was in there. It was a pancake mix.
But it was cornmeal pancake.
It's cornmeal. And so I made these, and Danny and I ate them, and they are delicious.
They are delicious.
The corn is ground so fine. It is just like using regular flour. I was really, really shocked and amazed. You could eat it with butter on it. You could eat it with syrup on it. We ate it with peas and beans like cornbread. You can eat it any way you want. It is awesome. So I really like this.
Questions. 3 of my 5 zucchini plants only have male blooms. Start over? No, I mean, that's a natural thing for plants to have all male blooms up front. That's to attract the pollinators. And once the pollinators get used to coming, then the plants will put female blooms on. The Cherokee tan pumpkins are a lot the same way. Ours over there 30 feet long right now, and they're just now starting to put female blooms on. They've had male blooms for now probably, a month? And now they're just putting on female blooms.
Okay. Somebody said no grits are good. Oh, Joanna, all grits are good.
All grits are
they
good.
Are absolutely one of my favorites. Makes me grits, a couple of times a week.
Couple of times, yeah.
But I've not had stone ground grits. And last year, I think somebody sent us some.
It was. It's been a while. And
I ate those like pronto. They went out the window really fast.
Rockin' P. Rant said, supposedly we still ride horses to school in Texas. Like, it's funny how people categorize you where you live at. You know, it's like people when you say, "Oh, I live in the Appalachian Mountains," you think of somebody like got a long drawn out face, really like, and that's not true at all. You know, I've been all over the Appalachian Mountains. That's not true.
Grits is cow food. Okay, guys.
No. That's like people say okra's not edible. It's flower arrangements. Okra's one of the best things you'll ever eat. Same thing with grits.
Grits are awesome. Now, how many of you make cornbread?
Cornbread's the same thing as grits.
It's the same thing. You start out with a piece of corn,
yep.
And when you stone grind it, you get grits, and you get cornmeal and you get flour. All 3 of them with 1 piece of corn.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of pieces of corn, whatever. So you're eating the same thing. You're just making it different. Flour, same thing. You got self-rising flour. You can make a cake. You can make cookies. You can make anything out of it.
Anything.
Some people
you
might
can
like
batter squash. I mean, it don't matter.
It's according to what you do with it. And grits is absolutely one of my favorites with butter and an egg. Just saying.
She said, first time I had grits, I was grossed out. Somebody didn't make your grits right for you.
Y'all need Danny to make some grits.
I mean, grits, if you've ever had polenta is the same thing as grits. It's just fried grits. That's all it is.
Grits is a comfort food. It sure is.
What cover crop do you use to get
rid of? You're good with cheesy grits. I'm just saying.
What kind of cover crop was used? The question is asked to get rid of root nematodes. Broadleaf mustard planted through the winter months and tilled in the spring is probably the best remedy.
I love it. Somebody said, was it, I forgot who it was. Barbara, she says she still gets asked about Indians in Wyoming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okra grits, hoe cakes. Look, you ain't eat till you had a hoe cake. Matter of fact, Wanda makes some hoe cakes.
I just didn't call it a hoe cake.
She didn't call it a hoe cake, though.
I called it a fritter.
Jan says fried grits with cane syrup. Oh. Man, what you talking about? She says, I think it's a texture thing. I love grits. I just hate okra. You can't ruin okra. I don't care how you fix it. Grits, cheesy grits. I mean,
real grits, stone ground grits taste so much different from instant grits. If all you've ever had is instant grits out of a box or out of a bag or whatever in the store, you just gotta get stone ground. It is 100% different. There is no comparison.
Cody says, do y'all raise hogs? Right now we don't. We usually do, but we got rid of all of our pigs so we could work on our pond down here.
Oh, time to sow. I'm so sorry. I had to okay your thing. It says she needed a good hoe cake recipe and it made me fix it. Okay. I'll make some one day. Just saying. One day.
One day. Lois says people are still asking, is Maine part of Canada?
What did it do where I can't get to my pictures?
You clicked on something. Just go back up and hit OBS.
Sorry.
There you go.
All right. So let's go.
Let's check out this picture. Here we go. This is Wanda's new cookbook.
Y'all, I let people pre-order to get this cookbook, and I told them it might be at 4 to 6 weeks. Y'all, they are sending it. I got an email yesterday. It will be here Monday. Y'all will be getting your books. Everybody that pre-ordered, I will be shipping out Tuesday if I can get them all signed.
We can get them all
in envelopes and all this stuff. They will go out Tuesday. So y'all know Monday evening is going to be busy, 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 busy for me. But I just put them up on Etsy. So now they're on Etsy. You don't have to pre-order. You don't have to go through PayPal. You do not have to send me a check. I'm going to take all that down. Try to take that out of videos so people don't keep wanting to send it that way. Just go to Etsy. It's on Homestead deepsouthhomestead.etsy.com. Okay. And I want to give one away. You knew that was coming.
It's your books.
It's my books. I want to give one away. So, what can I do to give one away? The first person that puts the title to my original cookbook gets a new cookbook. How about that? All right, Lippy, you got to go find the title to my original cookbook, and you moderators need to be looking for the first person that gives the title to my original cookbook. All right, so
Did the Danny corn recover? Yes. Yes. But we're having problems with critters just wanting to eat it.
We have, well, I didn't get Danny corn pictures. I took them, and that was one thing I didn't get up. All right, Miss Debbie, I've not seen these before. They're real thin on one side, thicker on the other side. They are called pot scrubbers, but she said they're good for vegetables, to clean vegetables. When you don't want the soft side, when you don't want to bruise them. The harder side, when you like potatoes and stuff that you want to clean. She said these things work fantastic for them. So thank you, Debbie.
Okay, they said, do you have grits recipes so I can taste good grits?
In the cookbook.
Okay, Zachary asked a question while it went around. He said something's eating his cucumbers. Zachary, unless I see a picture of cucumbers, It's kind of hard for me to tell what's just eating your cucumbers because it could be the cucumber beetle more than likely. That's what it is.
I think Jan has it, but y'all tell me if anybody before Jan Penland has put it up. I see Jan. So
Georgia Garden Girl, a persimmon or a peach. Either one will do.
Jan Penland so far is the first one I see. So all my moderators check it out and
Susan
see.
Leeway,
I see a couple of them. All right, guys. This right here was sent to me this week. It's my family 8 generations back from Tanner. And this has places for genealogy. They knew I liked genealogy. So I want to thank Tanner for this book on genealogy.
The question is asked, do we grow butternut squash? We didn't this year. We didn't grow any this year because we grew so many of the spaghetti squash. We just didn't grow any butternut squash this year.
Yeah, it was Jan 1. Okay, so I'm going to put Jan.
What are some tips for growing berries? Good, rich, fertile soil. That's what they need. Rich, fertile soil.
All right, Jan, send me an email at deepsouthhomestead@gmail.com.
I've got something like ladybugs eating the cantaloupes, eating them. There is a bug that looks just like a ladybug, but it's not a ladybug. It's actually a Japanese type beetle, and that thing would destroy your crops.
Yeah. What else?
What else you got on your pictures here? I don't know what you did tonight.
Go up above the sugarcane and the grits and the pancake mix and the fishing. We done all that.
All that.
All right, the ceiling fans.
Oh, we made an addition to our cabin. Let me show you all a little bit about what we've done over to the cabin.
Yeah, we hadn't been showing much because we hadn't done a whole lot. But
this is working on the cabin. We just got 2 ceiling fans installed in it. And the Blue Eddy power station is working just fine. It just it has turned out a lot better than we anticipated. We're still working on the cabin main right now.
They can see one door up. He hasn't got all the doors, but he's working on it.
I'm working on the kitchen cabinet doors right now.
When he gets the kitchen cabinet doors finished, I'm going to give you guys a tour of what it looks like, and I'm going to give you a tour of what the bathroom looks like. We haven't got the tile down yet, but in the bathroom, I'm waiting for the tile to go down, but people on Patreon have already got a tour of the bathroom. They already know what the bathroom looks like, minus the tile, because we don't have the tile done.
They're just now getting it.
What?
The picture. It's just now, they're just now seeing it.
Oh, okay. I know they're behind us.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're custom building everything in this cabin. I mean, this the funny thing about this is this started out as just a little small project. You know, we was gonna build us a little cabin, and we was gonna cook, or we was gonna do whatever we ended up doing. And
Danny, don't do anything like this. That's why this pond will have a pontoon boat in the middle of it before it's over.
Yeah, thank you, Tracy. Yeah, it's one of them things. I have a high taste for things, I suppose. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah. So, y'all mentioned projects. One of them is to build a building, and it'll be like a shed type building, right, over the sugarcane mill?
Yes, it'd just be like a metal carport type building.
Yeah, and one of the others is a carport over. We have a slab, but we don't have a top on it. And probably before we started all these other projects, we should have done that first, but we didn't. So that's one of the 2 projects that we'll do down the road.
Someone said they have white spots all over their corn, their cucumbers, everything. The I am of me. I'm not white spots. I mean, I don't know, unless I know the sun this year is causing white spots on a lot of things because it's actually burning them. But I can't say that that's what that is, the I am of me. Where in the Deep South are we at? We're the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yes. Okay, so that's one of our projects we're working on.
We did this week, guys.
This is the third time we've made salsa in the last week. I am tired. Chopping and cutting up and getting everything ready and then doing salsa, but it is beautiful. Isn't that the prettiest thing you've ever seen?
The questions asked
They're
there.
saying you're a perfectionist.
Well, I am a perfectionist. Do you have a cold cellar, or is the ground not good for it? We do have an underground cellar. As far as it being cold, in the Deep South, there's no such thing as an underground cellar staying cold. It's just not
80
possible.
degrees.
It gets up to about 80 degrees even underground.
Yeah, I think probably 80 is about as hot as it gets.
It doesn't get over 80, but it's only 80 for just a short period of time.
During
but
the midsummer, yeah.
It does get up to 80 degrees.
So it is that. All right, this is behind the new greenhouse. We have a small row of sugarcane that's real short. It hasn't gotten tall yet.
Yeah.
And then Danny planted me some green lima beans, the baby limas. I love green limas, the little small baby ones. And so he plowed them, and they're a reasonably good stand.
It's a good stand. I mean, we did that with a Hoss tool. I plowed it with the Hoss high wheel hoe.
Yeah.
Do we make sauce, Miss Wanda?
You talk about tomato sauce?
Tomato sauce?
No, I don't use that much hardly at all of tomatoes. The only thing I really would use is the salsa. We've got gobs of tomatoes that we can for the last 4 or 5 years just sit there because Danny doesn't like anything that's real tomatoey. And when I make soups and stuff, I'd be dumping a whole jar in there, but I don't make soup occasionally. And he would rather not have tomatoes in it. Now the salsa's not so tomatoey that I don't put a lot of it in my things, so I'm using it in casseroles and stuff, but just a spoonful or two at a time for extra flavor. So no sauce.
Let's see here. Danny, I am growing tomatoes in the shade, and they're doing a lot better than those out in the sun. And I think you'll be happy. Full sun, because of the way our sun is in the Grand Solar Minimum Amount, does not mean 6 to 8 hours of sunshine. It just simply means like 3 to 4 hours of sunshine. Do we have a storm cellar? Yes, we do have a storm cellar. This is our other, Miss Wanda's Mississippi cream peas. Am I correct?
Yeah, these are the cream peas.
Yeah, and then, of course, over to the left we have butter peas, but this is Wanda's Mississippi cream peas here.
Yeah, the butter peas on the trellis are already, what, 2.5, 3 feet tall?
Yeah. Yes, Hoss tool is a good, matter of fact, Hoss tool is not very far from North Carolina.
Okay.
Are we starting anything for the fall? Not yet. We probably will wait till we're to start our
We're still
plant.
cleaning plants up. And we got in trouble about cleaning plants up, y'all. Everybody was freaking out because we're taking up reasonably good plants, but we don't want disease in our soil.
Yeah.
And so when we've had enough, like the squash, I didn't intend to can squash this year. I have enough squash to last for several years. And I ended up canning, what, 40, 50 jars or more?
Probably about 50 jars, yeah.
And so I was done. Now, I like to eat them fresh, but I did not want to can anymore. So he pulled them up. We had 3 or 4 plants at the cabin garden, enough to eat on. So we should be good.
I saw a question backwards that says, "Then why do y'all plant so many tomatoes?"
Answer that question.
Well, I can answer it very easily. We was going to have the gathering, and I had planted about 200 tomato plants for the gathering. I was going to sell some at the gathering, or give away some, whatever we had to do. And then COVID-19 happened, and I'm sitting here stuck with almost 200 tomato plants. So I told Wanda, I said, I'm going to plant some. So I planted probably 150 of them. I gave some away, and a few died. So now we're harvesting tomatoes off of about 150 plants. And guys, I'm picking tomatoes by the 5-gallon bucketfuls.
So we're narrowing it down, though.
We probably won't plant tomatoes next year, except maybe a couple of plants.
We won't need any.
We don't need
unless
any.
we eat a lot of salsa.
Well, unless we eat a lot of salsa. Now, if we eat a lot, and this salsa is really good. Now, this is not a hot, spicy salsa. This is a sweet salsa, so we can use it in spaghetti, chili, whatever we want to use it in, we can use it in it.
Yeah. I like to put the squash in soups and stuff, so that's what I will be using it. It's kind of like a filler. I put it in my casseroles. You can't taste the squash in a casserole. So if I'm mixing up a casserole, it's mushy. I use it as a filler in there, and it works really well.
Georgia Garden Girl, we put a tablespoon of sugar in every quart of tomatoes we do, no matter what. Any idea what shreds cantaloupe leaves? I don't see any bugs. That's probably grasshoppers. You know what I mean? They do it at night. Mostly, we have a lot of shredded leaves here on things, and it's grasshoppers at night.
How many tomatoes should come from 8 tomato plants?
Well, it depends on the variety.
It depends on your soil. It depends on
a lot of things. There's so many variables in there. I mean,
you might get 1 and you might get 5.
8 tomato plants with us. We're averaging 25 and 30 big tomatoes per plant. So 8 plants with us would probably be about 3 5-gallon bucketfuls, maybe.
Yeah, it should be a good many.
Let's see here. Danny, what would cause my garden to be stunted? Veggies very small, plants are small. Have you used any animal manure in it, or any hay or straw? Because it could be grazon related.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you so much, Terry.
Yeah, anytime your plants are looking kind of weird like that, backtrack and see where you got your hay, straw, manure, compost, anything like that.
Christina, I grew beets the first year Wanda and I were married, and Wanda doesn't eat beets. She don't want nothing to do with beets, so we don't grow any beets.
We had a jar of beets last year that was from 2013 still. It was the last jar. I think Amanda ate them or something, didn't she?
Yeah.
To get them out of the cabinet.
Let's see here. Is it true that if you have a perfect pH levels, you won't have any issues with? Really helps. I'm not going to lie to you.
You still have bugs.
You'll still have some bugs, but I mean, as a matter of fact, this afternoon we did a live stream. I was out with the soap and the squirt bottle spraying aphids on our peas. The ladybugs were trying to eat them, but they just wasn't doing a fast enough job.
Yeah. All right, that's the picture of the pond that was sent to us.
This is the picture, y'all, of the pond. This is my pond. Roughly will look like it. Probably a little wider than this.
And it goes way further back than where Danny is.
It goes a lot further back than what I am.
And then back the other way, it goes way further back. Not way further, but a little further back.
Probably another.
So it should be a pretty good sized pond. And it'll go up the hill toward the corn more, right?
Yes, that's what I was telling you. It'll be a little bit wider.
It'll be a little wider. So but this is what it actually right now. There's no water.
There's no water in it.
This is what it's looking like. No water.
This is what I have done with the tractor, getting ready for the dirt work. Now the tree that's out in the bottom of the pond, that one will come out. I'm active, kind of doing the aesthetic work around the edges right now, and the traco and the dozers and all, when they come in, we'll be digging out. This is the upper end. The pond goes way down the hill in the other direction.
Yes. And it's going to be as deep as we can get it. We're just not sure.
As deep as I can afford to have it dug.
Saving beans. Now, guys.
Oh, yeah.
These were my anasazis that came out of the greenhouse. I planted plants because I only had a handful of beans. I had like 6 or 8, 10 beans. And I planted all of them but a couple. And harvest.
Probably almost a quart.
Off of a few. And I didn't think. I harvested every one of them for seeds. All of them. So now we have enough to plant anasazis, a good garden of anasazis now. And then Danny has been harvesting these.
These are the Cherokee yellow wax beans. We let one whole garden go to seeds. We just didn't harvest any of them. We didn't pick. We picked the first picking off of them, and then we let them go. But these things are, right now I have probably shelled out probably close to a gallon bag full. Will we plant rice at the upper end of it, or is it too hot there? No, we don't plant rice anywhere, Jan. We just don't, we're not rice fans.
And one of the trees is going to stay, or two of them, and one of them's got to go. The one that's down low will leave, the other two are staying. And they said, do we have a spring that will help fill it? Yes.
Why do pomegranates split before being picked? We had to throw one of them split.
This is our first time having pomegranates, so I don't know.
Well, it's just they got rain, and it's been hot and dry, and then water. It's just like anything else. Saving beans was imperative for me this year. The coming years will be difficult to acquire beans to plant. That's right. That's exactly right. That's why we're saving as many beans, as many varieties as we can. What is the best way to peel peaches? Quick boil and ice, or using lye? Quick boil and ice. That's the best way to peel a peach.
Yeah. And, well, I was trying to think what. I'm reading comments and trying to think too. It ain't working no way.
And Leon says, "You got any fish in it?" Leon, the picture has been photoshopped. It's not actually a pond yet.
Yeah, it's the dirt. This one. This is what it actually looks like.
That's all we have right now.
There is no pond right now. This is it. Somebody photoshopped, James photoshopped us a pond in there, and we the picture.
Yes.
But there's no water right now.
You can still grow beans if you live in zone 6 or lower. You should still be able to grow any kind of beans.
Talking about water, that was what tonight was supposed to be about. No water. Okay, so guys, if you live somewhere where you're dependent on a water source, like a community water, a municipality, or whatever, think about if something happens like COVID. Okay, when it happened, if they don't let the workers go to work and something happens to a piece of machinery or something, and there's nobody to fix it, or not enough workers to keep everything going, and your water starts trickling, you don't get water for a day, or you don't get it for 2 or 3 days, do you have water stored up? That was my whole purpose in this whole video, is to inform you about water. Have some water stored somewhere. Have a water source.
Most people don't understand the importance of water on a place. Because all it takes, if you're on a municipal water, we call it city water or something like that, community water, all it takes is for a national shutdown of some kind, and you don't have water. Because, guys, these things are so tricky. Most of your community waters have chlorine put in them. Most of them have fluoride. They have lime put in the water. All these things are put in there to raise pHs in the water, to do all this kind of stuff. It's all done electronically. And all it takes is for machines to go down or another virus to happen where nobody can go to work, and you have a problem with the municipal water system and you got no water. Plus, it's a perfect terrorist opportunity to wipe out entire communities, is to put something in the water that kills people. I mean, it's just, that's why we have a well. It's just simply because of that. We will not, as a matter of fact, hook up our system. They tried to come out here. We actually ran them off and told them, do not put water on our main roads. Nobody out here wanted it. We told them to get out of here and to leave, and we did not. We all signed a petition statement. We did not want water out here. So, at this point, I mean, they throwed everything at us. They said, well, do you realize that it would raise the value of your property if you had water? I told them, I said, I don't care. I don't want the value of my property raised because I ain't going nowhere.
So they want to know how to store water.
You can water.
Yeah, I've not ever done that because we don't really need it, but there are videos on how to can water. Then again, Jars. Jars are getting scarce, guys. Right now we can't get any quarts. We have jars, but we keep an eye on the place in town. They have plenty of pints, no quarts. They can get all the pints they want to at this moment. But I've seen people on my Facebook group saying they can't find quarts, they can't find them. So, but Cannon Water's one of them. You can buy bottled water. It's not the best in the world, but you can buy it and store it. But buy enough for a month's supply. Figure out what your family needs, buy a month's supply, and use it. If you do nothing but water your plants or do something with it, wash your car or whatever you got to do, rotate out.
Just because you have a well doesn't have to have power to run it. Our wells, we have hand pumps. We have well buckets that fit in our wells. We have lots of different ways to draw water. We have 2 different wells. We have one that does have an electric pump on it, one that we can bucket in, one that we have a hand pump on, all this type of stuff. You do not have to have electricity to get water out of a well.
Yeah. Jim and I saying look at small town hardware stores for jars and lids. That's where we get
ours from.
I ordered actually this week. One of my subscribers sent me a link to some jar lids, and I guess I should have put it in the group, and I didn't even think about it. There was a company had them for $1 cheaper than I've been paying, and so I ordered some more jar lids this week, and they came in yesterday. But if I see something like that, I guess I'll start posting it in the group because people are for it. But
how long can you store bottled water? We never stored water like that was bottled. We had some, but we done away with it. We never stored it over 6 months.
Yeah, that's what I was saying in rotate. If you buy a case, write the date on it that you bought it.
Yeah.
And that way when you go in, you can see. And every month, take out a case, do something with it, use it for something, put in another case. Keep rotating, is what I would do. That's what we did in the cellar.
A lot of people saying it's so pricey to drill a well. We took that into consideration in the beginning. We went ahead and just dumped the money into it, got it over with, and I drilled my second well. There was no state law that prohibited it, but the first well I had it commercially done by a professional. It was been well worth it. We've had no problems with it.
Fleet Farm, that's it, Susan. Thank you. Fleet Farm is where I ordered the lids from. So check that link out. They had a good deal on them.
Leon says we got hard water here in Arizona. When I was in New Mexico, I experienced hard water. You can, of course, you can soften it if you got the right, setup. You can fix that.
Fleet Farms, wasn't that the name?
Donna, Fleet Farms, FLEET Farms.
Yes, where I got the lids. Somebody mentioned your dehydrated water. Y'all, if y'all want to see something, if you want to really see a good video, go watch Danny's dehydrated water. He actually dehydrated water. Funniest thing, did it.
Yeah, Fishes and Loaves is right. Do not store water in plastic bottles. It will leach out dioxin in it over time.
How long can canned water stay safe?
Indefinitely.
But I would rotate it.
I would rotate it out at least every 5 years.
The one thing most people do is they buy stuff, they stock it up, and then in 5 years it's still sitting there because they hadn't used it. Danny and I try to buy things, rotate out. Like if we buy 10 bags of sugar, I put everything to the oldest to the front, the newest in the back. I use up. And I'm constantly rotating. I do that with our almond milk. Anything we buy, whatever it is, we rotate out. That way you don't have stuff that's 5, 6, 7 years old. You're using it up before it gets that old.
It would depend on how deep you want to go, your well, whether
or hard job.
That's true. That's true. Depend on.
They're talking about your dehydrated water video.
Have you tested your well water lately? It was shocked.
She was shocked by the chemicals in hers.
No, I haven't had mine tested in quite a while. I mean, it still tastes the same. There's no problems. I haven't noticed anything different.
Yeah.
I need to see that. Oh, in the video,
He rehydrates.
I rehydrated in the video. Yeah.
He dehydrates it and he rehydrates.
Yeah.
One take, guys. One take. He did not mess up the whole time. He was on a roll, and when he's on a roll, it just flows. Yeah. It was fun, and I kept a straight face the whole time. You couldn't see me. I did not bust out laughing. Yeah, you got to.
I still haven't opened up my Blue 80 2400 box. I'm so busy. Oh, I
love ours.
I love mine. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love it.
That's why those 2 fans are in there.
Look,
in the cabin.
I mean, it's amazing. We can run 2 ceiling fans on medium speed, and it shows no wattage even being used. I can turn the lights on both of the fans. That's 6 lights burning at one time, and it shows 58 watts being used because I got LEDs in it. And that thing can run for days, just Cadillacing.
Yeah, we don't use it all day long. We use it at night, and 2 ceiling fans go for a couple of hours while we're in the living room, and then when we go to bed, we turn those off, and we turn 1 ceiling fan on in the bedroom for the night. And that Blue Eddy lasts probably 3 nights.
And we never run it all the way down.
We only let it go down 2 bars, and then we come charge it. And so we've never run it out. 3 nights, and then we're charging.
3 nights we charge it. It uses 2 bars in 3 nights, and I mean that's running all night long.
Yeah. It sounded so serious at first. I thought Danny had lost his mind on dehydrated water.
I have shared that dehydrated. Okay, yeah. And guys, I know tonight, thank y'all for being on here and watching us instead of President Trump, because the Trump rally's been going on. It's probably still going on right now. And I thank y'all for taking us over your president. You know, I mean, it means a lot to us. I know we probably won't have the views tonight that we normally do, but
you really think you're President Trump?
Well, some people will watch just to see what he's saying, I'm sure. I mean, I'll go back and watch the reruns because it doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's not going to change that. But I do want to thank y'all for watching us tonight, knowing that was on.
Mama Z's Texas Kitchen says she really wants to set up a rain catchment system. Well, we went over at the cabin. Somebody said, who? But
another person says, "Oh, I forgot." No one says laugh out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're all switching us off right about now.
Yeah, they're all fixed to start. Well, we fixed it's 9 o'clock. It's after 9 o'clock. We're fixing to get off here anyway.
Yeah, we just lost like 50 people right quick to watch President Trump when you reminded them. Okay.
One says they're watching both.
Does your be like water filter?
Does your Alexa Pure receive?
It's an Alexa Pure.
Yeah.
It's a clean.
Ours is an Alexa Pure, and it does just fine.
So far, I mean.
Everybody's still saying Danny for president. You do not want me for president. I'm telling you.
They said we have 587 watching now, and it dropped down to 6. No, I'm just joking.
You do not want me for president.
No.
I'm telling you. With my mentality, I would. Well, talking about cleaning the swamp, I would do it the first day.
Yeah. Trump poo. Oh.
I would go ahead. I mean, I'm one of these kind of people. There wouldn't be no rioting in the street. There might be riots in the street, but it wouldn't last long.
Yeah, I've never understood that, and I'm not sure why our country is to this position.
Our country's gone nuts.
Our policemen should be able to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm the kind of person I
just don't understand it.
I would probably bring the military in, and we just say, look, let's just take care of this. Whatever the consequences are, they are what they are. I
don't understand this kind of craziness.
Oh,
On the lids, did I use a promo code? Not that I remember. I don't think I did. I don't think I had a promo code.
I don't think you did.
Remember. But I got a good discount because it was probably I don't know. We paid something. We got them for under $3.
Debbie, we don't sell the Alexa Pure filtration system. You can go through our link.
Water with Deep South.
Yeah, Water with Deep South at and you can get them through that way.
It's called Water with Deep South at gmail.com. Right? No. waterwithdeepsouth.com. I'll get it right in a minute. waterwithdeepsouth.com. The Alexa Pures there is discounted greatly for anybody that goes through that link. It's discounted way cheaper than you're going to find it most anywhere else.
That's true. If I was president, there would be nobody left in Washington. I'd probably be sitting up there by myself going, okay, now, who are we fixing to elect?
You can be the Canada's prime minister.
I don't have patience for foolishness. I mean, I don't.
Wow. One lady says her husband is retired military law enforcement, and they're thinking about calling him back at 60 years old.
Well, that's actually happening in military too.
Well, he was in the military police.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Militias are active and growing. Yes, we have several around us here. I've asked to be a part of several of them. I've turned them down, but I have been asked to be.
So
anyway, guys, we're fixing to get off of here. So if you got any prayer requests, put them on here. I do want y'all to pray for Boss of the Swamp.
Yes.
He had to have an ambulance come pick him up. He had a blood clot go to his heart, one to his lungs. They was able to save his life. He's going to get to come back home, what I understand. So, he suffered. We're Lippy for a bodyguard. He suffered some minor setbacks, and he did have some physical issues. There is some damage, but not
minor damage.
It's minor damage. It's not irreparable. So, y'all do keep Boss of the Swamp, JC, in your prayers. He's a real good friend of Wanda's and ours, him and his wife. And Ms. Lori's a great lady, beautiful woman. They live a great life. And I'm just, it was sad the day that we found out that he had to be taken back.
The Alexa Pure holds, what, 2 gallons? 2.5.
2.5 gallons.
2.5 gallons of water.
Richard, I would probably have a foolishness tax. I probably would.
And we want to remember Eric from Life and Farmland.
Yes.
Eric is, I saw Jenna posted yesterday that he had been accepted for a transplant. So he will go on the transplant list, and that is a big plus for him. He is doing the, what's it called? Kidney dialysis. He is doing dialysis now, and so being accepted to put on a transplant list is really big. So pray that they find a kidney for him soon.
Also, Tasha said pray for her. Lucy says pray for her legs to come back. People saying pray for our country. Pray for our granddaughter. God knows. Guys, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've started praying for each other. I don't pray so much for the country anymore because I do believe God is lifting the hand off of the country. I don't believe we're under the protection of the Almighty God anymore. But I do believe God takes care of His people inside the country. So I have begun to pray for God's people in the country. I'm not praying for the country as a whole. I do pray for my leaders, though.
Andy at Tennessee's Life and Homestead.
He's back in the hospital with pancreas. Yeah, with pancreas. We knew about that. That's another one.
I was trying to think of the other one. Thank you, Brenda, because I was going, okay, there's one more, and it was Andy. There's lots of people that come in contact with COVID or might have.
We know lots of people who are actually coming down with COVID or coming in contact with COVID. And guys, we need to pray. Our country is in the second phase of COVID as a part of the first phase. We haven't went into actually what's called, this is the second phase of the first phase. And it's it's being said that probably 80% of the population will get COVID-19 before it's over.
Yeah.
Pray for my husband. He just lost one of his Marine brothers.
Sarah at Living Traditions had
her surgery, and
this week.
She's had a good recovery so far. Our law enforcement in this nation, because they're having a lot of their rights and stuff pulled from them.
is a law. He said a lot of people are ready to leave and hang it up. And I saw Chad Prather. He did a thing on talking about just that. And y'all, he nailed it. People they don't have any respect for anything, for officers or grown-ups or anything.
Right.
He said he was standing on a street corner with a law officer talking to two law officers. He said two punk kids, young white punk kids, walked by and cussed those two officers.
Yeah.
And that's wrong. You know, I don't care.
That ain't right.
You parents, if you have kids, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here.
Yeah.
Hopefully your kids aren't doing this, but the parents that have kids that do that, the parents ought to be taking care of their kids. That ought to be, you know. I mean, I know teenagers going to be teenagers, but still, that's crazy. Yeah.
I see something that's going by so fast
Brenda's
now.
daughter is having bad seizures again.
Okay.
See that?
They're going by so fast, I'm not able to keep up with them. I could slow it down, but we're already past our time, so we need to go ahead and have our prayer.
And just remember the law enforcement and
the innocent people that get killed through that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
The election coming up.
The election coming up.
My daughter, she usually works the election polls. She's a poll worker and has been since she was 18 years old. And she said this first time in 15 years or better that she won't.
Yeah.
She's afraid to work the polls this time because of all that's going on. She said, what if somebody walks in now? Because they're so mad about everything.
Yeah, and sometimes innocent people get killed because they're in the wrong place at the wrong time. My one of my best friends passed away here. Harry's been gone about 6 months now?
Maybe.
Around 6 months. Navy SEAL friend of mine. He and I talked on numerous occasions, and he knew that he could talk to me about some of the experiences that went on, and he would tell me some of the things he had to do. And he said, Danny, I killed so many innocent people, and all because there was one bad person there, you know. And he said, I hate that I had. And I told him, I would say, my friend, you had to do what you had to do. They were wrong. They were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and most of them in places they didn't need to be to start with. And he had a hard time with a lot of that stuff because innocent people lost their lives because of bad people. And
the group you hang with, this was one thing that my mom and dad stressed more than anything else. If you're in with the wrong crowd, even if you're not doing something, you're guilty. You automatically, for the outside world, sees you as guilty. So if one person is robbing a bank and you're their friend and you're walking in the bank with them and they rob the bank, people are going to assume the two of you came in together, and they ain't going to have no mercy on you.
No, you're just guilty by association.
You know, sometimes things just happen.
Yeah, and I do want to remember all the fathers, because you know what? God blesses a nation because of dads a lot of times. It's a dad's responsibility to take care of a family. It's a dad's responsibility. That's what a lot weighs on a dad's shoulders. He has to make sure his family's raised right. He has to make sure that his family knows the order, you know, God, country, God, family, country, all this kind of stuff. He has to know all this stuff. God puts a lot of responsibility on a father's shoulders. So I want to make sure we don't forget our fathers, because tomorrow is Father's Day. And pray. So, Father, I just thank you tonight for just loving us. I mean, you take time, look down upon us. We're wicked many times. We're sinful many times. And yet, in the midst of all that, you still find to show compassion towards us and to love us and to look beyond our faults, Lord, and to be able to see the need that lies within us and to help us. And even though you know we have these problems, you are still just. You still expect us to ask for forgiveness. And when we do, it's just if I'd never done it. Father, you wipe our slates clean each time. And thank you for that. Because you said you put our sin behind you as far as the east is from the west. And Father, we appreciate your generosity in that. And tonight I want to remember all the fathers, Lord, of this nation. They are the backbone of the nation. And Lord, I pray that you'll give them wisdom and that you'll give them integrity and that you'll help them to be the best dads that they can be for their families. And Father, I pray for our president tonight as he's had a rally. Lord, I pray that everything goes well. The opposing side tried to do everything they could to stop this, saying that he was not doing what was right because of COVID-19 and all this stuff, Lord. And I just pray all goes well for him and he has protection from the evil and has wisdom to make wise decisions. And Lord, I think about all the people who've had the virus and who are going to get the virus, the families that's lost loved ones because of it. Father, I just pray that we get some relief from this as quickly as possible, because Lord, I know that when you lift your hands off of a nation, like I mentioned, almost a year, the presence of God had been lifted from this nation. And at that point, it was just a matter of time. The same thing happened here that happened in Israel. Disease came in. Famine has started. Lord, these are things, they're called the curses of disobedience. It's mentioned in Deuteronomy. These are the things that we have to look forward to now. That's going to be happening on a daily basis to us, Father. But your people, I want to pray tonight for your people, Lord, that they would be protected, just like the children of Israel from the plagues of Egypt in the land of Goshen. I pray that you protect your people, Father, from this world and the plagues of America as things begin to happen. May your people be blessed tonight. May they not have to face all the things that the rest of the world and the rest of the nation have to face. But may we have plenty. May we have an abundance for our families, Lord. And Father, tonight, I just want to pray for those that are having surgery. Pray for those that have had surgery. I want to pray for JC tonight, Lord, that he's had problems, that he'll come out of it all right. Lord, that Eric from Life in Farmland will be okay. And all the others that we've mentioned here tonight, Lord. May your blessed protective heap upon each and every one of them, Father. Lord, tonight we want to ask you to forgive us, go with us, bless the work of our hands, grant all of us the blessings of obedience, Father. We ask all these things in thy name. Amen.
Can I mention one thing?
Go for
it. I don't usually mention Crazy Days, but Crazy Days is my channel that I have, and I am less than 100 away from 10,000. I want to reach 10,000 in the next week or so, and I've got a four-tier GreenStalk
she wants to give away.
I want to give away.
Spit it out, baby.
4-tier GreenStalk planner. A lot of people love my GreenStalk planners, and I'm going to give it away over on Crazy Days when I hit 10,000. So I need you guys to get Crazy Days to 10,000. And I might throw in a cookbook for a second person if they actually get me.
So y'all go over,
just get me to 10,000.
Get Wanda to 10,000 so that she can have her day and be happy. And she can give y'all a 4-tier GreenStalk, and she can give away a cookbook, and she can just do all this kind of stuff when she gets 10,000 subs on Crazy Days.
Because I like giving away stuff.
That's CRAZY DAZES. The I Am of Me says, I love Crazy Days. Guys, go on out, because there's so many things on her channel it's still Deep South. We just don't have room from Deep South to put everything. So we put it on her channel.
Yeah.
Lots of cooking videos, lots of things like that over there.
A lot of craziness.
A lot of just craziness, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean, if I can get there, I've been waiting a long time to hit 10,000. So
yep.
I'm at 900 and something. I don't even know how much, but it's less than Less than 100. So
Yeah.
there should be that many people can get me to that 10,000 this week. You know, share me. Help me out a little bit. All right, guys.
Okay.
All right, so I'm done for a little while.
That's it. Okay. Let me hear. I gotta hit this
Oh,
down.
do we want to talk about our? We kind of going to be busy for a while. You were going to no visitors for a little while.
Oh yeah, I do want to mention that
because we got a lot going on.
We've got so much going on here at Deep South Homestead. We are not going to be taking any visitors, so don't ask. While. You know, don't even worry with asking. We're not going to be allowing anyone to come visit with us because right now we're over with vegetables. We're overloaded with the greenhouse. We're overloaded with getting a pond in. We got fencing.
The cabin.
The cabin's got to be painted.
I got a lot of painting in the cabin.
We just got tons. A matter of fact, I spent all afternoon piling dirt up out there to go in the new greenhouse.
And I got all these cookbooks to deal with this week. And then, you know, so we got a lot going on. And it's just hard for us to stop for an afternoon or an all day right now. And,
it's not that we're trying to be rude or anything, just that right now we have a lot going on and we just don't need to be taking time off.
Wow, I'm at $9.95? Whoa.
Yeah.
I was at like $9.20.
Yeah. So.
Yes.
So anyway, we just wanted to kick that out right at the last minute. Please just accept our apologies right now. Our gates will stay locked and shut. We're not you know, allowing anybody in for a while.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Check out Crazy Days. If I hit 10,000, I'll be doing a video tomorrow or the next day or something. I think it'd be awesome.
I think you might make it.
And I might make him be in the video.
It's possible. You never know.
Oh,
all right.